Joyful connection is one of the most life-giving rituals a woman can weave into her daily routine. It's not about collecting a crowd or surrounding yourself with constant noise, but about intentionally nurturing the bonds that make you feel alive. Human beings were never designed to thrive in isolation. We are wired for relationship, for laughter, for moments of sharing that remind us we're part of something bigger than ourselves. For an older woman, connection becomes less about quantity and more about quality. The depth of a conversation, the warmth of a shared meal, the spark of laughter with someone who truly gets you. Those moments don't just feed the heart, they radiate outward and show on the face, in the eyes, in the way you carry yourself. Connection doesn't always have to mean long phone calls or elaborate gatherings. Sometimes it's as simple as sending a kind message, checking in with a neighbor, or exchanging a smile with a stranger. These small acts of reaching out are like threads, weaving a net that catches you when life feels heavy. They remind you that you're not alone, that you're part of a web of humanity that thrives on kindness and reciprocity. When you choose joyful connection daily, even in the smallest doses, you're training your spirit to look outward instead of inward, to give instead of withhold, and to receive without hesitation. That exchange is where radiance grows, its energy in motion, flowing freely between you and the world around you. There is something timeless about the power of laughter, the sound of it, the release of it, the way it bubbles up in the company of someone you trust. Laughter is not only medicine for the soul, it's a natural beautifier. It softens your expression, brightens your eyes, and leaves an afterglow that lingers long after the moment has passed. When you allow yourself to connect in joy with others, you invite laughter to take its place alongside you, and that kind of joy is contagious. People are drawn to those who can find humor, who can lighten a room with a smile, who can embrace the absurdity of life without letting it break them. A woman who surrounds herself with joyful connection doesn't just shine, she draws others into that light. Joyful connection is also about intimacy, and not just the romantic kind. Intimacy can be the deep trust between lifelong friends, the vulnerable honesty shared in a late-night conversation, or the gentle comfort of being fully seen without judgment. These connections remind you that your story matters, that your presence matters, that your voice is worth hearing. In a world where so much communication is shallow and transactional, choosing depth is an act of courage. It nourishes the soul in ways that solitude never could. Radiance comes from that feeling of being both known and accepted. And when a woman carries that assurance with her, it changes her entire presence. One of the most overlooked parts of joyful connection is giving. When you extend kindness, when you listen fully, when you offer encouragement, you're not just brightening someone else's day, you're igniting your own. The act of giving freely, without expectation, fills you in a way that self-centered living never can. Older women who embrace this ritual of connection through giving often carry a unique glow because their energy is outward-facing. They become the kind of people others feel safe with, the kind who attract gratitude, love, and respect simply by offering it first. This flow of giving and receiving creates a rhythm of joy that feeds the spirit endlessly. And perhaps the deepest truth about joyful connection is that it creates legacy. Every smile, every shared laugh, every moment of kindness leaves an imprint. These aren't grand gestures, but simple daily choices to connect with love and joy. Over time, those choices ripple outward into families, friendships, communities, and beyond. The radiance people see in a woman who values connection is not surface level. It's the cumulative effect of years spent investing in relationships that matter, of pouring into others while allowing herself to be poured into. That radiance is unmistakable because it's not just skin deep, it's heart deep, and it lights up everyone it touches. Intentional stillness is one of the most underrated daily rituals, yet it has the power to transform the way a woman carries herself. In a world that constantly shouts for attention, stillness is the whisper that restores balance. It's not about being idle, and it's not about doing nothing. It's about creating space where your mind, body, and spirit can settle into alignment. Picture the pace of most mornings, alarms blaring, phones lighting up, tasks waiting. Without intentional stillness, you're swept into the current before you even have a chance to breathe. But when you pause, even for just a few minutes, you reclaim authority over your day. That pause becomes the anchor that steadies everything else. Stillness doesn't demand a meditation cushion or a silent retreat in the mountains. It can be as simple as sitting with your coffee before the house wakes up, letting the warmth of the mug rest in your hands while your thoughts find their rhythm. It can be a few deep breaths in the car before walking into work or pausing at the end of the day to release what no longer belongs to you. This act of stillness creates a rhythm of calm that follows you, and it's in that rhythm that radiance is born. Because when the inside is at peace, it shows up on the outside without effort. The face softens, the body relaxes, and the energy you give to others becomes more steady and more inviting. There's also something deeply healing about intentional stillness. Stress leaves fingerprints on the body, tight shoulders, shallow breathing, restless sleep. When you give yourself permission to sit in stillness, you're allowing those fingerprints to fade. You invite your nervous system to reset, your breathing to deepen, your thoughts to unclench. The body is designed to heal, but it can't do its best work in constant chaos. Stillness becomes the medicine, free and available, that many overlook. It's not flashy and it doesn't come in a package, but its impact is undeniable. Women who practice stillness glow differently because their bodies aren't constantly fighting against a current of stress. Stillness also sharpens presence. Have you ever spoken with someone who is truly there, not distracted, not rushing, but fully engaged in the moment with you? That kind of presence is magnetic. It comes from a mind that has been trained to rest in stillness. When you practice quieting the noise internally, you carry that ability into conversations, into work, into relationships. People feel seen in your presence, and that connection is a form of radiance no cream or routine can replicate. Stillness trains you to listen more deeply, notice more fully, and appreciate more openly, and that makes your energy unforgettable. Another layer of stillness is spiritual nourishment. For some, it's prayer. For others, it's journaling, reflection, or simply sitting in gratitude. Whatever form it takes, the result is the same. A woman who is grounded in something deeper than her to-do list. Stillness becomes the space where answers rise, clarity sharpens, and creativity flows. The mind, when given permission to quiet down, often reveals insights hidden beneath the noise of daily life. That wisdom reflects outward in decisions, in demeanor, in the quiet confidence that only comes from someone who knows how to pause before reacting. And what's remarkable is how little time it actually requires. 5 minutes of stillness practiced with intention can shift an entire day. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be long. What matters is the choice to stop, breathe, and be. Over time, this ritual builds resilience. It creates a reservoir of calm you can draw from when challenges arise, when emotions flare, when life feels overwhelming. And that resilience is what keeps a woman radiant, not because life is easy, but because she has learned how to center herself in the middle of it all. A nourishing skin routine is more than creams and serums. It's an act of self-respect. Skin is the canvas that carries every laugh, every worry, every memory written into fine lines and texture. And while aging is a privilege, how we care for our skin along the way determines whether it dulls under the weight of neglect or glows from attention. Starting with something as simple as cleansing, it's not about scrubbing away age, but about washing away the day. Dirt, oils, and impurities aren't just on the surface. They weigh on how fresh and alive your skin feels. Cleansing becomes less about vanity and more about renewal, giving your face a reset before it faces the world again tomorrow. Hydration for the skin is as critical as hydration for the body. When the skin is thirsty, it shows dryness, tightness, a lack of elasticity that makes every expression look more tired than it actually feels. A good moisturizer is not luxury, it's armor. It locks in the water your skin desperately needs and creates that protective barrier against air, wind, and stress. The glow people admire doesn't come from shimmer or makeup. It comes from skin that feels cared for from the inside out. And when moisturizer is paired with consistency day after day, skin starts to tell a different story. It looks softer, calmer, more resilient. Not perfect, but nourished. The ritual of sunscreen is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Sun is beautiful, but it is also unforgiving. The rays that feel warm on your face are the same ones that etch deeper lines, uneven tones, and roughness over time. Sunscreen isn't just about prevention, it's about protection. It's saying, I want the years ahead of me to be as radiant as possible, and I'm not going to let something preventable rob me of that. When a woman wears sunscreen daily, she's not fighting age. She's safeguarding her grace. That shield against the sun is quiet but powerful, and it keeps the skin strong enough to reflect light long after others expect it to fade. Skincare is also about ritual, not rush. Too often, people treat it like a chore. Splash, swipe, done. But when you slow it down, it transforms. Applying moisturizer can become a massage, an act of grounding yourself as you feel the tension in your jaw release under your fingertips. The gentle rhythm of washing your face becomes more than cleansing. It becomes a cue that you're transitioning, shedding the stress of the day. These aren't just motions, they're moments of connection between you and yourself. Radiance isn't just created by the product, it's created by the peace you bring into the act. Nourishing the skin doesn't stop with topical care. What you put in your body shows up on your face. Foods rich in healthy fats, vitamins, and antioxidants are like allies working beneath the surface. Hydration, leafy greens, berries, omega-rich oils, they don't just fuel the body, they build the very structure of your skin. Pairing internal care with external ritual is what completes the picture. When your body is supported from both ends, skin becomes not just a reflection of age, but a reflection of health. That combination is what people call glow, and it's a glow no highlighter can fake. And perhaps the most overlooked part of a nourishing routine is grace. Grace for the skin you're in. Too many women look in the mirror searching for flaws instead of recognizing strength. Every mark and every line is proof of life lived, and when you nurture your skin instead of punishing it, your reflection changes. The routine then becomes less about erasing and more about enhancing, less about shame and more about honor. A nourished skin routine is not about hiding your years. It's about letting them shine in the healthiest way possible. And it begins with the daily choice to care for yourself intentionally. Morning hydration isn't just about grabbing a glass of water and checking the box for the day. It's the very first intentional act you do for yourself before the chaos of life comes knocking. Think about it. After hours of sleep, your body hasn't had a single drop of water. You've been fasting, breathing, dreaming, and your cells are running on whatever was left from the day before. That dry feeling in your mouth, that heaviness in your eyes, it's your body's way of whispering, I need you to refill me. Starting your day with hydration sets the tone not only for your energy, but also for how you carry yourself. It's a ritual that says, I matter enough to start with me. Now here's where people get it wrong. They think hydration is about chugging a huge bottle of water all at once and moving on. But your body doesn't want a flood, it wants a flow. Imagine watering a plant. You don't dump a gallon on it and walk away. You give it what it can absorb consistently. Same with you. A tall glass in the morning, room temperature, maybe with a squeeze of lemon to wake up your digestion. That's not just water, that's a signal to your body. Time to wake up, time to flush, time to get things moving. It clears the fog, lifts the brain, and if you've ever noticed that natural glow in your skin after a good hydration streak, you know exactly what I mean. Here's the hidden power. Hydration is more than physical. It's mental. That glass of water can be the first win of your day. While most people stumble out of bed, grab their phone, and drown in notifications, you can choose to start with intention. Holding that glass in your hand, you're saying, I'm going to pour into myself before the world pours into me. That shift, tiny but profound, affects how you show up in conversations, how you feel in your body, how you respond to stress. And when a woman makes that choice daily, it doesn't just keep her hydrated, it makes her radiant. Because radiance isn't only about looks, it's the energy of someone who is cared for, starting with herself. Let's also talk about how hydration plays directly into your vitality. As we age, our bodies naturally hold less water, our skin gets drier, and our joints need a little more help. That morning glass is like oiling the gears of a machine that's been resting all night. Your metabolism wakes up faster, your digestion thanks you, and your skin starts to reflect it. Ever notice how dehydration shows on your face first? The fine lines look sharper, the glow dulls, and fatigue paints itself in the eyes. Consistent hydration blurs those lines naturally, not by erasing age, but by supporting it with health. When you give your body what it's designed to thrive on, the mirror starts giving back a softer reflection. Another piece to this ritual is how it can become a mindful moment. Instead of rushing it, slow it down. Notice the coolness of the glass, the clarity of the water, the feeling as it goes down. Gratitude can sneak into this ritual if you let it. Gratitude that something so simple and accessible can give so much back. And if you want to elevate it, herbal infusions or mineral-rich waters can add a layer of nourishment. But the key is consistency. One intentional act, repeated daily, becomes a ritual that transforms not just the body, but the spirit. And let's be real, hydration is contagious energy. People see it. They see the brightness in your eyes, the freshness in your skin, the steadiness in your presence. You don't have to announce you're drinking water, your body announces it for you. That morning ritual becomes a silent testimony that you care about how you feel, not just how you look. And when older women embrace this with confidence, it's like a secret glow that no makeup brand can sell, no filter can fake, and no shortcut can replace. It's earned, it's lived, and it all starts with something as simple as that first intentional sip of the day. Daily movement is one of the simplest yet most powerful rituals a woman can give herself. It doesn't need to look like an hour at the gym or a marathon training session. Movement is about honoring the body in ways that feel natural, sustainable, and joyful. As we age, stillness begins to creep in, not because we want it to, but because life and routine have a way of slowing us down. And while rest is important, too much of it leaves the body stiff, the joints tight, and the energy low. Movement is how you remind your body that it's alive, capable, and ready to carry you through whatever the day has in store. That little walk around the block, those 10 minutes of stretching on the floor, or even dancing in the living room to your favorite song all count. The beauty of daily movement is that it doesn't demand perfection. It demands consistency. Think about how water shapes rock, not with force, but with repetition. Your body responds the same way. Gentle, steady movement every single day builds strength, maintains flexibility, and keeps your heart pumping in rhythm. It doesn't have to hurt to work, and it doesn't have to look impressive to matter. In fact, the best movement is the kind you'll actually stick with because it fits your lifestyle and makes you feel good. When you give yourself permission to move without judgment, you free yourself from the pressure of comparison. No one is keeping score. It's just you choosing to show up for yourself day after day. And here's what's fascinating. Movement doesn't just live in your muscles, it lives in your mood. The chemistry of your body changes when you move. Endorphins lift your spirit, circulation brings color to your cheeks. And suddenly, what felt heavy a few minutes ago feels lighter. Movement clears the cobwebs of stress and helps you think sharper, breathe deeper, and carry yourself with more confidence. People notice it too. A woman who moves daily walks into a room differently. Her posture speaks, her steps feel grounded, and her energy radiates presence. Radiance isn't about being flawless. It's about being fully alive, and nothing brings that aliveness to the surface like a body in motion. Daily movement also protects what matters most: independence. Strength in your legs, mobility in your joints, balance in your stance. These are the foundations that carry you through your days with freedom. Every squat while loading the dishwasher, every stretch to reach a high shelf, every step climbing stairs is easier when you've given your body the gift of consistent motion. This isn't just exercise for exercise's sake. It's investing in the future version of you who wants to travel, to play with grandchildren, to enjoy hobbies without pain holding her back. Every small choice to move today builds a stronger, steadier tomorrow, and that investment pays off in ways no one else can see, but you can absolutely feel. The ritual of movement can also become a form of self-expression. It doesn't have to look the same for everyone. For some, it's yoga that connects body and mind. For others, it's a brisk walk that doubles as a moving meditation. Some may find joy in gardening, where bending, stretching, and lifting happen without a second thought. The ritual is not in the activity itself, but in the act of choosing it daily. Movement becomes your language of gratitude to your body, thanking it for carrying you, for healing, for showing up. Each stretch, step, or flow is like a conversation with yourself, and the more you have it, the more connected you feel to the person in the mirror. And beyond all the science and benefits, daily movement is simply a reminder that your body is meant to be lived in, not just looked at. It's easy to focus on appearance, but when you move daily, you feel the results long before you see them. That feeling of lightness, of strength, of energy humming under the surface. It spills over into everything else you do. Movement doesn't just change the shape of your body, it changes the shape of your day, and it all begins with the decision to honor your body with motion.